Another episode with yet lots of drama. Could this be the time of season now where it's the architect of our own downfall for fantasy managers? Captaincy letting us down, the usual suspects going even worse, and where to get the points from are complete different angles. However, yet again, welcome to another edition of the FPL Addicts podcast. This time being Gameweek 23. And this season's going off like a freight train. But as per usual, I'm joined by my beloved guests. We've got actually one on standby, to be honest, at the minute. Whether he brings wisdom or not, that remains to be seen. But based on the subtitles, he's also got another matter on the agenda. Good evening to you, Reidy.
Nearly the mute. Oh, good evening, mate. Yeah. On standby. I mean, I don't know about this whole guest introduction thing. I mean, panel or whatever whatever we are. I mean, guest. I'll take it for now. But yeah, I mean, apart from looking like I've been dragged through the back of a hedge like yourself most weeks, things are going all right. Football's decent, I suppose. Liverpool aren't losing at the minute. Won in Europe last night. Looks like top 8 could be secured, like yourselves, Arsenal. And another game week is obviously upon us. Whether people enjoyed the last game week is another story, which I'm sure we'll get into tonight. But good to be on with you, mate. How are you going?
I'm all right, thank you. I'm always intrigued, especially with the current trends on social media nowadays. So everyone loves revisiting 2016. Now, I would like to ask you, before we go over our mini league, what you can briefly say, what were you up to in 2016? But also, do you believe the football was better back then, and in what ways?
What was I up to in 2016? Wow. So that would mean that I was 28 years old. No, maybe it wouldn't. 2026. Yeah, it must have been 28. Wow. I mean, I would not long become a dad when I was 26. I had my daughter 2 years on. Yeah, man. I was deep into the matrix, mate. As for FPL and being in the matrix, who knows at that point? Football 2016. Klopp era had started. So obviously 2015 Klopp had come in, 2016, kind of getting there. 2019 was Champions League, or was that League? One of the two. And then so for me, it was probably a good time, mate. It was a decent time in my life at that stage. What about yourself? What were you getting up to in 2016? You must have only been a little whippersnapper, right?
Close enough. Yeah, I was 15. I was a Year 9 student back at my old stomping ground high school in CVC. I did every Wednesday, however, I should send you the YouTube clip after the episode. I did a sports report actually in front of 100 peers of my year level because it's just something that I've always wanted to do. And don't get me wrong, when I look back on it and think, it takes a lot of courage to do that. And on a couple of occasions, I got booed off, but whatever. You just kind of take it all in as in your stride. But yeah, I went to Japan, which was nice. And then I think this was when Premier League rights worldwide had a big change. It went from Foxtel to Optus, but also it was the start of the fantasy show with James Richardson, Marcus Ovens, Jules Breach. Now, that was an absolute go-to panel. We would just always enjoy after school every Friday and tuning into that to see who the best options were. This is, before podcasting really became a big thing.
Yeah. I mean, Jesus Christ, man. You had a lot more going on than myself, to put it that way. Obviously, less responsibilities. But yeah, you got as much in there as you could. And speaking of getting in as much in there as we could, that's probably what we're going to do tonight, right?
Yeah, let's go straight to it. And to Cole, Miriam, Marcello, thank you for commenting. Marcello's just getting his hair done, I reckon, in the backstage at the minute. He'll come just in time as we're about to talk about his team. Now, this is how we went. Let's start with you, Reidy. You're on 50. You actually had a half-decent week.
Yeah, it was all right. I mean, I listen, midfield and forwards, what is even going on in FPL? I mean, some weeks they'll be amazing. Other weeks, they all blank. Like, come on, catch us a freaking break. Phil Foden just for the last, 5-6 game weeks? Missing. Rodgers, since I've got him at one point or whatever, the last 5 game weeks, missing. I brought in Semenyo for Cunha, which nearly ended up so bad because Cunha got an assist, nearly got another assist, but obviously ruled out for offside. Lucky for me. So, yeah, I mean, captain on Haaland again for however many times this season, like most people probably, because you're scared to go against him, blank. And yeah, the only part of my team that came in clutch for me was defense. So Sanchez got him in on wildcard. Kind of was regretting it in a way. I was like, oh, I should have went Chalobah. But it's turned out all right. So he got me the 11-pointer. Arsenal, solid as usual, I guess. Double clean there. And then Chow with his clean sheet and bonus. So, yeah, all round in the defensive department, very good. And that's pretty much that.
I like it. No, not too bad. It was just good looking at the top. And then when it came to the bottom.
Yeah, exactly. 3s and 2s all round then from then onwards. Even a 1-pointer from Phil. I mean, his middle name's Walter, isn't it? I mean, I can think of something else to call him, but we won't go there. It's too early for that. Yeah, that's it, mate. 50 all out.
Not bad at all. Look, briefly on Revs, because I know he's not here, but we may as well just see how he went. That defense, well, I think needs a good dose of recognition itself. It's a gamble that has no doubt paid off.
That's what you call going out on a Saturday night to a club, and then some nice honey stood at the bar.
Where's this going?
And what you got? She's big at the back, mate. Big at the back. That's all I'm saying. That's where Rev went, and that's exactly what Rev delivered. Unbelievable. Yeah. I mean, 66 obviously is his score, and he got all the defenders in his team, and then Palmer with a 9-pointer from the penalty and so on. So, yeah, fair play to him. Fair play to him for going all in on that.
Agree. He did really well, benefited fruitfully. So that's one side of the green, and the grass itself. I'll go to mine because, look, if Reidy left his good points in defense, I did something worse, and that is leave all your good points on the bench, with being 24 points the most so far this season. Cue the violin music.
Go on, though, but tell you what, Chaza, go into why, reasons why those players were on the bench. I mean, is there a reason, or were you just stupid, or is there a justifiable reason why, you fielded, who you did and not who you didn't?
I think I may have been too encouraged by Brentford's recent form over festive period. Dubravka actually had a really good game. It probably went better than I expected. It's just mainly the Manchester United assets, to be honest. If Keane did play, and he probably would have been third on the bench, he would have got a clean sheet, and it would have made it 30 points, to be fair. I thought City would show up, and they didn't. So that's a disappointing part. And then, look, I was sending this guy a DM, and I was saying it could well be the Monday night hero, and he just responds with almost. Good evening to you.
Almost.
Hello.
So close, but so far. Good evening, guys. Good evening.
Evening, mate. Evening. I didn't know you'd left Crystal Palace because everything's, the castle, the fort is crumbling down and turned into a Liverpool supporter. Welcome, mate. Welcome.
Yes,
it's because we're all
red, cheering on my captain. Good old German words.
Oh, yes.
This is why I love FPL. If I did not play FPL, I'd be so sad about Crystal Palace and our mega downfall. But it's all right. Because
you were just going through Chaz's team and what players he'd left on the bench. And basically...
That was quite funny. Was he just stupid, or was there a reason?
No, you know what? I asked him to explain why, in all fairness. And he kind of said, Dubravka had a good game, etc. Brentford obviously had been good lately and things like that. But ultimately, I think we're all just in agreement that we didn't expect Man United to turn over Man City and keep a clean sheet. And obviously, it's sod's law that Dorgu, the guy that people brought in recently because of their fixtures,
all those good games,
that they do it on the game you don't expect them to. And not only that, the Bravka, I mean, we had about 30 shots.
really,
something crazy like 30, 32 shots. It was ridiculous. If you're an XGA, whatever, if you're into all the stats, that was like fully packed with stats. So listen, most people would have picked Kelleher over the Bravka probably, and they would have picked, benching Man United. So don't feel too harsh on yourself there, Chaza.
a lot of people sold Dorgu as well, didn't they?
Yeah.
If they weren't on the bench, they would have sold him.
Yeah. So talk to us about your team then, Cello. What's cooking in the kitchen for game week?
Well, it wasn't much really. I mean, Wirtz captain against Haaland. I was doing my shopping, and then we went to Popeyes and KFC, and that's when he scored. I had it come through in my headphones, so I nearly spat my chicken out.
Who did you cheat on first? I mean, Popeyes and KFC. Jesus.
Well, I had Popeyes, and the missus had KFC because they.
Okay.
Yes, but yeah, I really rate Popeyes. Actually, they did like a $2.49 meal with like a little burger and a little wrap. Because like KFC do a similar thing with like mini fillet and mini wrap, but these Popeyes ones were so much bigger and so much crispier. So I've never been before. I thought Popeyes was like a rip-off, but when I saw they had a cheap deal, it's good value and it was really tasty.
There we go.
Yeah,
popping off.
Yeah.
Captaincy obviously was going well at the time.
Yeah, and I always remember it for Wirtz now. So. Yeah, I mean, all my other strikers and attackers blanked, apart from Bowen, who got DEFCON, which is why we've got him in there. And then double Arsenal defense. My first week with Timber, so yeah, I was kind of feeling bad about selling Raya because, looking forward to game week 31. You can bench Raya. Raya did quite well this week. He actually outscored Timber, who got, a yellow card. There's doubts over, will Timber play now? So I was like, I'm so glad. So sad that I sold Raya. His price has gone up now if I want to get him back again. But then on Monday, Pickford does an amazing 10-pointer, or was it Sunday, whenever, against Villa. And it worked out all right. So I don't miss Raya anymore. Pickford's the guy now.
Yeah. I mean, that alone, and as well as the Wirtz captaincy, obviously, was 20 points. So, massive, really.
It wasn't a high-scoring week. I was worried about not getting 10 men, but, look at my bench. Yeah. It's not a good bench at all, but it doesn't matter because you can only play 11 men, so... No, but I made 3 transfers. So I was on Focal's YouTube on the deadline stream. And I was just checking my phone, and like his chat was like, Foden benched. So I already used 2 transfers. I had 1 more, and I sold Foden to Semenyo because I thought Foden was going to be benched, but then they both started. But then Foden came off early anyway. But I think that was a bit of a waste of a transfer. I don't think I should have got in Semenyo, but I'm very happy to have Timber and Rice now. So yeah, I sold Cunha. And I sold in defense. Oh gosh, I can't even remember now. But yeah, I should not have used that other transfer in Semenyo, but I feel good about him for next week. Guardiola, I sold Guardiola, so that's fine. Cunha, he got 1 assist. It was looking really bad when he got a 2nd assist, but I was glad that was ruled out. So felt good about moving on Cunha.
Move, Cello. We basically did Cunha to. Or you did Foden, obviously, but I sold Cunha too, and ended up getting Semenyo.
And again, it was the right call because Cunha was benched. So
it's just how it is. Well, Marcello, it's the reason why you're top. You're having more consistency and more amazing weeks in comparison to the 3 of us. But now we've got to shoot our choo-choo train onto next week, as you mentioned, but also you love your color codes, you love your spreadsheet. So now is the time. We've got questions left, right, and center. I may as well put it at the front. A good floor's yours.
Palace. So Palace are now, second on the ticker. I think Chelsea, Forest, and Brighton are not the easiest games, but Burnley and Wolves are nice. If you move to 26, Palace go 12, so equal top with Man U, Tottenham, and Leeds afterwards. So I feel like Palace are a wait and see. You could get Munoz in early now. Munoz is incredible, but Gahey leaving, you just don't know what that's going to do to our defense. Are we ever going to keep a clean sheet again? Probably, but you'd wait until 26. There's other teams that, in defense you'd target. Would you go for Sarr coming back from AFCON? I think Sarr could be a sleeper pick, but again, a bit too risky for me. Chelsea at home, Forest, Brighton. Not the easiest fixtures, not the best fixtures either. Not the hardest fixtures either. I think it's just not. Would you go? Are you guys tempted by Munoz if I said he gets 90 minutes this week?
I'm not tempted yet because it's always that thing of with an attacking fullback, you just care about the attacking returns and probably the clean sheets, right? Obviously, he's coming back from a fairly big layoff for his standards anyway, because he very rarely seems to get injured. Obviously, for me, not obviously, but for me, he's a wait and see at the minute. And I think that more so that you guys, I think, you still have Euro? Where are you?
Yeah, we've got 2 playoff games coming up soon.
Yeah, you've got playoff games.
It's
and
still
then
really
also
busy.
Yeah, also the games, probably the fixtures themselves, 26, 27, really nice. I think the fact that you're then playing Chelsea and then 2 away games doesn't appeal to me as much. But I can understand why on the ticker they kind of put yous up there. And as you mentioned, no Gahey. How much does that actually affect you? It's a way.
Also, no Kamada, I think, still out. I think he's a huge loss for us, and especially defensively, he does a job in the middle there.
Yeah, and 2 other factors is Glasner's made that announcement now. How does that affect the players for the rest of the season? And also Mateta wants to leave, so
that's not good.
Maybe if he goes, you bring someone else in. Does it work as well? Yeah, there's a lot of question marks at the minute, I think, with Palace.
No rush. Other team, Brighton. I mean, those fixtures are okay, I guess. Fulham, Everton, Palace, Villa. I just don't trust Brighton. I never know what you're going to get with them. Who would you go for? Van Heck? Is it Verbruggen in goal? Mitoma, Minte, Welbeck? Only Van Heck, really. But then why would you go Van Heck? You just go some other options. He keeps getting assists and stuff, doesn't he? It was so annoying because I cheered the Senesi clean sheet wipe when was it Van Heck got an assist or a goal? I can't remember. What did he do?
He got an assist for the overhead kick. Yeah.
Yeah, and then I checked my rank gain on live FPL. They've got really good. It shares every goal. How does it affect your gain? And I was expecting a big green arrow, but actually it was the same offset from Van Heck's assist to Senesi's. Senesi's clean, and I just didn't move at all. So I was like, so I celebrated that, but it didn't actually do anything for my rank. It's just instead of those people overtook me.
Yeah.
And then Bournemouth. I think Bournemouth are very interesting. Not Liverpool, so not this week, but from 24. Look at this run for Bournemouth. They go top. Wolves, Villa, Everton, West Ham, Sunderland at home.
Yeah.
Especially for defenders. I can see their defenders. So Senesi might be interesting again. Tavernier's out, which is annoying. Because
did you have him? Hold on Tavernier for one moment, because how do you rate that video again? Was it Abu Bakar who just screamed his lungs out when Tavernier scored that penalty on Monday night?
Big man, mono. Yeah, he got a bit crazy for that, didn't he? But
I mean, I have to say, I said to Maggie, is this what I'm like? And she was like, Marcello, you're like this when you're when someone that you don't own blanks. She was like, it's not attractive. Fix up.
Marcello was just in the middle of Popeyes, spitting his chicken out with words. Finds that words.
That was me.
the chicken let everywhere, you know.
Yeah, so it was like holding a mirror up, and it's like, maybe I need to take this less seriously. But then again, I love this game, so.
Oh, the famous words, yeah. I mean, Bournemouth, it looks okay. It does look
It looks
okay.
amazing, I think.
The only thing that I'm going to use as, I suppose, the caveat to that is, are you boys going to buy one of their players and be playing double Arsenal and a Bournemouth defender, or double Arsenal, one of you other guys, as well as the Bournemouth defender? I mean, is it at this stage when we see that, sorry to point out the elephant in the room, Chelsea's fixtures are so good, albeit congested, you know, a lot of fixtures in such a short period. It feels like to me that I'm like, I kind of like, all right, maybe I would go Bournemouth, but is it something I'm thinking is going to gain me a lot of points within those 5 games? I don't know, because Wolves look better. Villa at home are usually better than they were against Everton. Kamara's obviously going to be a big miss for them, I think, for the rest of the season.
Yeah, so ignoring those 3, you go to 27.
Yeah, Everton away. Yeah, Everton away is tricky. And then they're playing West Ham, who are fighting, you know, to stay up. Sunderland, who've looked good defensively, etc. I think they're a bit misleading, Bournemouth, personally. But you boys might have a different opinion. I know that Chaza, you own Senesi. So Marcello, you own Senesi, did you say?
No, I don't. I've never owned him.
Oh, you don't? Oh, sorry. I thought you were talking about just then about Bournemouth clean sheet and so on. But yeah,
I would. I'd like to. Maybe I think
No,
I do.
you would not like to. Bournemouth, they've given you nothing for 10 weeks. You see those memes where the person's holding the baby just above the water, then there's baby sinking in the water. Me, I'm just a skeleton underneath the entire water.
Yeah, but Bournemouth have been here for the past 10 weeks. They've been down here, so there's a reason for that, I think. Like, these are hard games. They've had hard games for a while now.
Well, I own Petrovic, and you know what?
Oh, God.
On the wild card, I could not wait. He was probably one of the first. I was like, bye. You know, you ain't coming back. See you later. Thanks, but no thanks. And obviously, anyone who still owns it now nearly ended up with a clean the other night, and then, it didn't turn out to be the case. So, yeah, I think to answer Colm's question, I suppose his question was like Palace, Brighton, Bournemouth. It is very tricky. I mean, Palace, we said wait and see, I guess, unless you want to jump in there and just go for Munoz or Sarr. Brighton, really difficult to pick which attackers, I guess. And if you go defence, is it just like Van Heck, for example?
Yeah.
Bournemouth, you know, probably the best bunch of fixtures out of the 3. But defensively, are they going to keep many cleans? So, there you go.
Yeah, I agree. And then if we just look at Bournemouth attackers, because Semenyo's gone. Tavernier's injured. So what, you're going to go Evan Nilsson? Does he become an option? Krupi, they've signed a new defensive mid.
Oh, yeah,
Toff, I think.
Yeah, they've also signed a Brazilian striker from Barcelona.
And a Brazilian striker, so he might be the one to go for. Like, do we know how much he is yet? If we look at this season's points per game, this is 1 to 22. You've got Senesi, Tavernier. Traore's only played 60 minutes. Krupi Jr.'s played very low minutes. You've got Adams, so is he an option? Evan Nielsen. Truffat's a defender. This guy's a defender. And then you've got Scott. So Adams, Scott, Brooks, who's injured as well. Clivert's injured. Cook's injured. So it's Adams or Scott or Evan Nilsson, really. Otherwise, the new guy. And I just don't see myself playing any of those when so many good teams, Chelsea, Man City, Arsenal, Liverpool, Bruno Fernandes, you're just not going to pick any of them. So maybe Evan Nilsson's the best shout, I think, or Krupi if he keeps minutes, which I don't think he will.
Well, yeah. Marcello, I don't reckon it's worth the time to asset in players. I reckon this club needs to invest in more hospital beds because everyone's just injured at this.
No, it's true. I was looking at the midfielders for them, and Cliver, Tavernier, two of their best midfielders and stuff. Like, they're really going to struggle, like, in midfield.
Brooks as well, yeah.
Brooks. Oh, yeah, Brooks as well. Adams, another one. Like, 4 key players, and they're not short-term injuries. Like, Adams
is Adams injured as well?
Yeah, knee injury.
Oh my god.
So they're kind of falling to bits a little bit in terms of midfield.
God.
So if the midfield's not there, kind of what it needs to be, is that going to put more pressure on defensively for them? So, yeah.
Oh my gosh, yeah, definitely. No, stay away.
Yeah, well.
Exceptional. Except if you're a Bournemouth player, then yeah, you may want to step away. But as per usual, thank you, Marcello, for the weekly roundup. This is what we need. We need accountability on this pod, because I reckon you're the only one showing it so far with such an exceptional season you're having, with an overall rank of 12k. Very quick check on your mini league. We've got Kieran up the top, who currently leads by 39 points. A great week with 53. A few going up, a few going down, similar to Audi prices or just the current stock exchange of economy nowadays. Now, the next point I think we should bring mention, because Reidy was buzzing. I kind of am too, but I was probably asleep. How the teams fared in the Champions League. So we saw Tottenham win 2-0. We saw Arsenal win 3-1. We saw Chelsea win 1-0 against Paphos, in which David Luiz now features for them now. Newcastle beat PSV 3-0. Where am I up to? Oh, yeah, and the headline act, Manchester City, who are now 11th with a big 3-1 loss to Bodo Glimt. But I think, Marcello, that's not the actual headline reason. It's that all the fans who went get their money back.
What, just the match ticket? Was it 25 quid? They'll be delighted with that, I'm sure.
Tell me about it. I know. But what do we take out of it as sides? Because you're a big fan, Marcello, especially in Semenyo, who's not eligible to play these matches. He's now fully rested. But who does it bring more carnage for?
Well, who's going to be good for Man City? I mean, you know, their defense there that they played: Aït-Nouri, Kusanov, Alien, and O'Reilly. Lewis, like, on the right mid, Rodri, Reinders. It's just, you know, get Gahey and get Semenyo in. That's why they've signed them. And, you know, traveling to, like, Norway, was it, on a 3G pitch? Like, you see what happened when Palace played on a 3G pitch. We lost to bloody Macclesfield. So these things do have an effect, I think. He said Haaland's exhausted. Why didn't he just play with Marmoush?
Yeah, I was very surprised when I seen the lineup. The fact that Foden were playing, Haaland was playing. You know, Pep's probably at fault for that, really. You know, bring the players on. You know, some managers probably have the ideal, you know, philosophy, ideology, whatever you want to call it, the approach, I guess, ultimately on their team selection and going, I'm going to start these guys. We get the lead. We go 2-3-0 up. We bring them off early, right? However, different circumstances, as you say, in Norway, different pitch. These players have been playing a lot of games. Give other players who are probably a bit hungrier to play and show a bit for getting starts, and that's what he probably should have done. But now he's in a position where, you know, Foden came off, and, you know, will he start the weekend? Haaland's exhausted. You know, it's just a little bit kind of naive by Pep, which we don't see very often. We do not see it very often, but yeah, we'll see what happens, because Captain's Corner will be interesting, because, you know, do you captain Haaland, do you not? That's the question this week. Who knows?
Reidy, from a Liverpool standpoint, it must be really good getting yet another European victory for your mob too.
Yeah, it was nice. I mean, it was nice to see Slot play our strongest team, probably at present. You know, played the strongest 11. We looked really good, organised. You know, put a good shift out there. And yeah, I mean, the likes of Ekitike still look good. You know, if you still have him in FPL or want him, whatever. I mean, it's still a viable option. Not saying that you should take out Haaland and bring him in, but obviously together maybe is a better play. But apart from that, Frimpong looked great. Salah is back now. He's not back because he didn't score. But we're kind of there, yeah. Who else got the third goal?
How did Salah play? Was he looking sharp? Was he creating?
Played okay. I mean, it's hard to tell, Chaza. He had a chance, and it was a good opportunity. Gakpo plays the ball. He's one-on-one. You think he's just going to put this in. You know how we've seen some of his cool, calm, collect, little deft dinks, or you know what I mean. And he tries to do something that he's been doing for the last season or two, maybe three now. He loves that outside of the left, right? He's put it on a plate for people assisting, and he scored goals doing it. And he tries to do it, and it probably goes somewhere in between the goal and the corner flag, like, and just shanks it. So is he the Salah? Like, is he washed? I don't think so, but a lot's changed since last season, put it that way. Would it be rushing to sell Haaland and maybe buy Salah? Probably not. So I'm just happy that, we're kind of winning. We're looking okay. And hopefully we can translate that into some league form, because against Burnley, that many shots and not scoring one goal just isn't good enough.
Yeah. I think a lot of people will be tempted by Salah and just going off this Haaland bad form,
Is he... The question is he still a risk, a minutes risk? And is he captainable? They're the two questions, I guess, that you want to answer. Amongst that, what I want to throw in there is we've now got a period where there's all the Champions League games are playing next week, and it's the final round of the Champions League. We've got English teams who are there or thereabouts. However, we're finding from probably Bayern Munich onwards, 3rd, through to 12th, maybe a bit more. There's teams still in with a chance of finishing in that top 8. Yeah. So I think that that will be telling over the next week or so in terms of minutes, rotation, players getting rested because they've got to qualify in the Champions League. Will that take precedent? It's a little bit murky. And I think more than any, whether we'll go on to that topic is about Chelsea and midfielders and who to buy for next week when the fixtures really turn.
Yeah, that's it. Just a quick one, because there was a good question from Carl. We'll get to IBKDU next. Do we reckon Marmouche is ready for a start? But I think you may have already answered this, Marcello. Probably not. Is that correct?
Well, I don't know. I didn't watch Marmouche. I think he could be ready for a start. If Haaland's exhausted and he's not banging in the goals, if I was Pep, it's Wolves. Like, I think someone said last year Wolves was benched. Haaland was benched against Wolves, so I think it's definitely a possibility. But yeah, is Marmouche good enough? I don't know.
That's a good point. And a quick one from IBK: do you bench Anderson, the one from Forest, or Alderete this week?
So Anderson against Brentford away. 4-point minimum.
Right. Yeah, so hopefully it makes it a little bit easier. Yeah, so Alderete's away at West Ham.
What do you think of West Ham? I mean, that Somerville's looked all right. That Wilson, both of them scored to get the win against Tottenham. That is a big boost for them, I think. Bowen at home. Have they kind of turned a little corner? Probably not, but that is a huge game. If it was at Sunderland, you'd definitely back Alderete, I think. But
is that your pick of the games, whether that's from an FPL sense or one that you're looking forward to? If that's one you're looking forward to, then FPL's seriously changed you the same that Abu Mambaka did.
I love how you started calling him Abu Mambaka, like saying his full passport name or something. Like Big Man Baka or whatever. Isn't that what he's known as? Like Big Man Baka. But yeah, go on, Cello. You fixture wise and things like that. What you kind of?
Yeah, I think Man City Wolves. I do hope that someone goes crazy for Man City, and I hope it's the person that I captain. But Man U Arsenal. Man U of new manager bounce, big win against City. Arsenal look unstoppable, so just another big test for Arsenal, but I think Arsenal are too good this year, man. Yeah. So I'll go with that game. Sunday, 4:30.
Reidy, what about you?
Oh, Saturday's looking a bit... a little bit more. A little bit of this, a little bit of that. I mean, everyone's basically just going to be hoping that Man City pump Wolves because, I own 3 City players. There's people out there who own 5 at this point, which is crazy. But for me, probably the games on Sunday more appealing, and it would have to be. Oh God, I'm gonna go for Newcastle Villa.
Yeah.
Newcastle Villa. Obviously, Villa got beat by Everton at home. Wasn't a great result for them. Emery's coming out with all sorts now, saying they're not good enough or whatever. And Newcastle kind of have hit some form, if you like. Better at home anyway. Should realistically be a ding dong of a game. You know what I mean? So I'm just going to keep my eyes on that one. I've got, as it stands, Bruno G, who did pick a knock in Europe last night. So I will be monitoring that one. I've also got Rodgers, and I've got Chow, who I probably will bench unless Bruno G's out. So
I think there was a comment on Bruno G today that they hope that it's not too serious, but he also posted on Instagram that he hopes to be back soon, which probably means he won't be back this week. Which is fine because you can just pivot to Enzo or the other best Chelsea midfielder, right?
Do I want to go early though against your boys this week? That's the question, Marcello. What you think of, right? I was going to roll this week, however, because I wanted to make 2 transfers next for 2 Chelsea, and I don't like the idea of going early because they play you away, and then they have a qualification. Like it's a big game for Chelsea now because Carabao won. They've got Napoli away next week.
You don't know.
There could be, the player you bring in could get injured, and it just, the Bruno G thing. I think I'm probably going to play Chow.
Oh, if you've got cover, that's fine.
I'm probably going to have to play Chow, even though I've got Rodgers. I've not got much of the choice because I've got Krupi who plays Liverpool.
I would just do it. I'd just do Enzo. He's rising tonight as well.
No, and Chalobah. Both of the players I'm getting in next week.
But you've only got 1 transfer this week.
Yeah, so
who would you do Chalobah for?
Ciao. It's like do it this week.
I'd definitely do one of them today. I don't know which one, but I probably don't fancy Sar's back though, so I'd probably do Enzo or Caicedo, but probably Enzo. Villa at Fenerbahce now. They're winning 1-0. So from Turkey, they're flying back home and then to go to St. James's Park.
Is this the start of Villa's? Oh, wait, they're winning 1-0. Sorry.
They're winning.
Yeah, but and
they've got a strong lineup. And doesn't Rodgers usually play really bad after a European game? Isn't that what the pattern was before? Or was he playing really good? I can't remember.
Well, BDB's back now, isn't he? But if Bruno G is out, that's a big miss, obviously.
Who's out, sorry?
If Bruno G is out for the weekend, that is a kind of big miss for them in midfield. So,
yeah.
Would you, in my position, would you go early for a Chelsea player?
100%.
No, that's not what.
But you don't need to. You don't need to. But I think. I would do Bruno G. It's a nice exit point for Newcastle, I think.
Okay. Chaza, what game for you?
Like Newcastle are bottom of the FDR. Like I know they've scored you loads of points, but
the fixtures are turning really bad. I mean, I was looking at getting rid of Chow and Bruno at some point anyway. Probably it was going to be Foden because basically the reason I was getting rid of Foden after this week was because I wanted Bruno, as in Bruno Fernandes. So Bruno G wasn't the priority move out. It was going to be Foden next week. And obviously
do Chow but then Chow's he can play, if Foden and Haaland, if they're not in the squad for whatever reason, I'm sure they will be, but if they're not, then you're going to be like, well, I should have just done it.
What, got Enzo or Chalobah?
Yeah, Enzo. I would do Enzo for Bruno because it's just aligning perfectly. Bottom of the table, injured, posted on Instagram that he's not going to, hoping to come back soon, and the fixtures are bad anyway, and you're doing it next week anyway, and he's rising tonight.
Yeah.
The worst thing is if Enzo, picks up an injury or for some reason is rested, which I don't know. I just feel like Enzo is nailed, but I don't know. If you don't feel like he's nailed, then I understand why you wouldn't do it.
Yeah,
Or if you think that it might be a risk for Napoli,
Mm.
but you're going to do it anyway next week. So,
well, on that note, I suppose, Chaza, you pick your game, and then if you don't mind, I'll probably go to my team and what I maybe want to do, because I've got to shoot off in like 5 minutes or so. I've got to depart
Shoot
a
off
bit
the
earlier.
Right, I'm going to shoot my game, and I'm telling you it's worth a wait. No, it's actually not. I'm going Burnley-Tottenham, because you see the normal Tottenham trend at the moment. They're steering their way into the Championship potentially, but they could win the Champions League. So Burnley, they've got one job.
They'll probably do that, won't they? They will get relegated and win the Champions League.
That's it.
Imagine. Yeah.
But how good is English football that 5 of the top 8 are all of the Champions League are all English? I mean, even Man City, they're tied on points with the 8th place. So
it's not bad.
It just shows like how good Burnley and Sunderland and Bournemouth, all these teams are. The Premier League is just so
massive.
good now.
Yeah, it is. Yeah,
it is.
All right, Reidy, you got the spotlight now.
Let's get the old sharing going, eh, boys? Let's get the juices flowing. Out of the bedroom, not in it. And the team is there, Chaza. It's ready. It's waiting. This is where we're currently at for this game week. Michael Keane is an absolute tosser because obviously he's still suspended. When I would have played him this week against Leeds, so that just goes to show that you should always go for Tarkowski instead of Michael Keane, even if it means paying more. But yeah, I'm going to play Sunderland away to West Ham. Not massively keen or confident. Sanchez, obviously, I got him on wildcard, so I'm going to play him. Would you suggest that Dubravka should play instead of Sanchez this week?
No, just play Sanchez.
Just play Sanchez. Not even for save points and things like that.
This is shit.
Oh, God. Watch now, first minute. First minute, Palace score. You watch.
Yeah.
So my team kind of probably in a way picks itself, really, I would say this week. Now, get straight to it, right? So I was going to roll. I was going to have 2 frees next week.
You can roll.
However,
your team's okay.
It's okay, isn't it? However, I'm in a dilemma where because I've got Sanchez, I would go either this. I don't think I can afford this, yet. I don't think I can afford it, but let's just have a look. Round points, Palmer. Oh, yeah, I can. Sorry, my bad. So I can either do this and go double Chelsea attack. This does, however, mean that I can't get Bruno Fernandes, right? If I get both, because obviously I've got Thiago, I've then got like these 3, like in Rice, Rodgers, and Semenyo, so more money tied up kind of in midfield. Or I could do this. Keep Enzo. It would be Chow that goes out.
Chow.
Defenders would be Chalobah.
Ciao, Bella.
Double, ciao, Bella. I'd have double Chelsea defense, 1 midfielder. And then this enables me in game week 25, I think it is, to get Bruno Fernandes and still have 2.1 in the bank. What do you prefer as an option? Double Chelsea mids or attack, I guess? Or double Chelsea defense, which enables me to get Bruno Fernandes?
No, I hate Palmer. Do not get Palmer. I'm sorry.
What? No.
What has he done? He hasn't done nothing. He scored 1 pen and then he laid on the ground at 90 minutes. No.
And just to compliment what Marcello's saying, Palmer doesn't know the difference between AM and PM still.
Why?
Well, no, there's a little video where someone says AM or PM. He just says, what?
Well,
I mean, I think you wait on Palmer, so don't bring in Palmer this week. If he scores a hat-trick this week, by all means, get him in next week. If he gets injured or doesn't even start against Palace, then you're not going there. Bruno, you don't get this week because, you know, it's Arsenal. Even though he could do something, it's still Arsenal. They've conceded like 5 goals this season.
Yeah.
So Enzo or Chalobah this week. Just because Bruno G is injured, I would go Enzo first. If you were to make a move this week, I'd do that today for the price rise. If Enzo gets injured, well, you know, you'll have Keane back. I think you'll be fine.
I think the information feels key for me. Like, I feel like...
Yeah, and this is what a lot of people have said, but like, what info about Enzo do you need? Like,
no, sorry. I mean, before I make this transfer, they've got 2 games. Yeah, 2 games. If it was 1 game, maybe I'd risk it. I'd chance it.
But then you get Enzo's points against Palace. Do you just rate Palace that much? Would you play Enzo over Chow?
No. So what I'd just do is, if Bruno is out, I just get Chow off the bench.
Bruno is out.
Or I even put Krupi there and hope that Bournemouth... Well, I don't want Bournemouth to score.
So would you not rather have Enzo over Krupi or Chow? Is the question.
In a vacuum, like most days, I would say yeah. However, I don't think there's enough upside there to kind of use the transfer for it this week when he's got 2
do it next week anyway.
Well, I'll do it next week, knowing in terms of more information, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
Next week you'll have more cover with Keane back. Like, who's he got next week?
Exactly.
Brighton away, and then if Enzo is injured for whatever reason, you'll still have Keane. You'll have Chow against. Well, you'll probably change him to Chalobah because he's got Liverpool.
The only difference that I've got is that if I wait, I have to pay.
Next week is Wolves as well. Ooh,
yeah,
that's nice.
So I've got good options next week, but the other thing about it is that if I wait, I have to pay 0.2 more if I'm going to get Chalobah and Enzo.
Exactly, yeah.
However, like we saw just before, if I go down that route and I ignore Palmer, right? Because say I get Palmer. Where was it? Say I get round points. So say I get Enzo, sorry.
Yeah.
And I get Bruno. And I also then get Chalobah.
Ciao. And then do you have any money for Munoz to Alderete? How much is Munoz?
I've still got 2.1 in the bank, so I'll have 1.9. 1.9 I'll have, because obviously I'll have to pay 2.
Well, it's not so much about the price, like doing it today. It's more about having Enzo's points against Palace. If you think Enzo won't go crazy against Palace, then you can wait.
Yeah, and I can do that move. I can do either Keane to Munoz. Where's Munoz now? Has he dropped down quite a bit? Munoz here.
Yeah, you got
5.8. Yeah, I'd still have 0.8 left, even if I wanted to do Munoz for Alderete.
And I think that's basically a wildcard team, to be honest. That is literally the wildcard team.
Really? No, like, but people
and Chalobah, and yeah, I think that's fine.
So even if I wanted to get rid of Alderete instead of Keane,
yeah,
I'd have
probably work. But maybe, you probably would. I think I'd keep Alderete. Yeah, I think you're really good. Unless you don't want double Chelsea defense, which I think you just do for those 4 games. Have you used your wild card?
Yeah, wild card's gone.
Okay, so that means you need to think about 31 as well, and you've got triple Arsenal, and then you'll get rid of Foden. Two of them. You're fine. You'll be fine. You bench 3 of them, and then you'll need to sell Timber and probably Semenyo.
I'll probably, if anything, I'll probably get rid of Semenyo.
Yeah, at some point you'll get Semenyo, and you can bring in any midfielder you want, apart from Palmer.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, of course, Palmer could go crazy, but is he the same player he was a few years ago? No, he's struggling with an injury. He's not at that top level. Like,
yeah, there is there is
price
the
as well.
option. The other option is this. I can get to Palmer and Enzo and Fernandez. Obviously, it's an extra transfer, and then get someone in who costs, from a defender point of view.
No, this is why Palmer's not good. He just messes your whole team. It's not good value. I'm sorry.
So 4.8, I could basically, like you guys were saying before about Bournemouth fixtures and whatnot. I could afford Senesi or something.
I don't like it. Like we said, Bournemouth, they've got so many injuries in midfield. It will have an effect. Chalobah is going to outscore any Bournemouth player, surely.
Is Chalobah gonna outscore Palmer over 4 weeks?
Yeah, probably. Probably by a triple.
Wow. All right, I'm gonna have to commit to no Palmer, aren't I? I'm probably gonna have to.
I don't think that's a bad thing. Palmer is averaging 3.3 this season. Guess how much Chalobah's averaging this season?
5.8.
5.1.
That's close.
From 22, yeah. Well, you can click on it and see. I think it might be slightly updated. He should be a bit higher now because 5.2 there. Chalobah's played 1,740 minutes this year. He's like 1,740 minutes. He's the most played player for Chelsea. Guess how many minutes Palmer's got?
500.
500?
663 minutes.
Wow. I didn't even think it was that.
He's just not, he's not training to the full level. He's not getting the game time. He's not getting the fitness. You just need those things there. Yes, he's on penalties, but that's all he's got. And when you watch him, that's how he plays. And to see him go down at the end of the game and hearing rumors that he wants to go to Manchester and that he's got no friends in London, it's just like, what?
You got no fans, you got no love.
And he's 10.4 million. Go Saka over Palmer at least. Yeah. And you know how I feel about Saka.
I've got no friends. Right, boys, I'm not going to take any more of your time, so I am going to have to love you and leave you. Enjoy the rest of the pod, lads, and I'm sure you'll have some good stuff to talk about while I'm gone.
Yeah. Enjoy horse riding.
Have a good one.
Cheers, mate. See you later. Bye.
All right. I'm going to...
Let's see your team. Come on.
Yeah, I was going to say, now that he's gone, now we got the proper people in. Actually, before my team, there's one thing we haven't done, and we need to discuss this as a collective. You've been awesome in the last few weeks, especially when it gets to such insights and what I'm about to show you. Okay, we saw the fixtures, but 3 Manchester City players in the top 5 transferred out. What is happening?
Why are they selling Gahey? What? To go to Dorgu? No. Who are they buying for Gahey? I don't know about that. Gahey's straight in my team. Straight in the Man City team. They need him more than anyone. I can't believe Liverpool haven't signed Gahey. What are they doing?
But
yeah, Foden, I get it. He's blanked. He looks tired. Who knows if he'll play? Semenyo's there. Might steal minutes. Pep Roulette. Even though Foden has played loads of games, if Foden starts, he'll be amazing this week. If he's not tired. Cherky, minutes risk. You never know if he's going to start. I think he got benched. Saka, people are finally selling Saka. Well done, guys. I'm proud of you for that one. Rodgers is a mad one. But the fixtures aren't really there. He missed 3 big chances against Everton. Pickford is a beast. So he doesn't play Pickford every week. But, Fenerbahce, Newcastle, that fixture run, I kind of get it. And then you've got, Bruno. And Mbeumo and Dorgu, really? Isn't Dorgu going to lose his place soon? Ahmad's back and Mbeumo's back. Yeah, he's been amazing, in the last game. But he blanks against all the easy teams. But it's just, 17 and 15. That's what happens when you play out of position, like Lewis Potter and stuff.
I can't believe I had him on field for 8 points and then I get his 15 benched.
Yeah. And people were like, yeah, I want some of that. A nice unpredictable asset. Yeah, I don't get it. That's why I don't really like these Hall players, because like think of like Elliot Anderson, 4-4-4-4-4. If you bench him, your average is still going to be 4. If you have Dorgu and you bench him for his Hall, your average is going to be 1.2. You've got nothing from him. So this is why I kind of like consistent players that are more reliable. You can bench them when you need to, especially the ones that you're not playing all the time. You can bench them. You just pick up a nice, reliable 4-pointer, and all those points build up.
Yeah.
Right. You know, like a Defcon defender, a Mukiele, or a Senesi, like you've got the Keen.
Yeah.
You know what you want.
You asked for it. Here's my team. I've gone past Carrot anymore. So you know what I'm going to do, Much. I'm actually going to do a move again.
This is good. What move? You're starting Dorgu for his 18-pointer against Arsenal.
He's staying where he is. I have a passionate hatred towards that man. I really do. And I'm so keen to get rid of Michael. So he's going. And well, I look at it as that and thinking, well, I would have wanted to field Keane this week. I'm not comfortable with Senesi. Who can I bring in? Well, Gahey was going to be one, but I got 3 Man City, and I kind of was keen to see what was going on. Sorry, no pun intended. So I'm going to do what I did to Patrick Dorgu, and this guy's going to get 8 points in the next 4 game weeks, but he's still going to go into my team because I'm delusional and follow the fixtures. See you later, guys. There you go.
That's a fine transfer. Very good.
Yeah.
Very nice. And you'll get a nice price rise tonight.
Let's hope so. So that's our team. I'm going to leave the keepers as they are, and I look forward to 20 more.
Oh, what about the captain?
Not this bollocks. Oh, yeah, I've got my own segment on this. I
can't leave it like that.
No, actually, I'll tell you why very shortly as for why Haaland's staying there, to be honest. So, but yeah, I look forward to yet another blank. All right, but a guy who rarely shoots blanks. In fact, he's a bit of a menace.
Well, that's my captain to give you a heads up.
Semenyo.
Always believe it.
Semenyo. Oh.
That was also going to be for Caicedo, because that's his chant as well. Who I'd love to bring in, but I'm not sure now is the right time. It's just the defenders, man.
Talk to me.
Yeah. I mean, it looks quite good. This is like really strong in my spreadsheet. Pickford leads, brilliant. You know, Gahey, Semenyo, Haaland, if they all start, it's Wolves at home. What more can you want? Double Arsenal defense, because that's the meta. Rice, you know, because he's Arsenal's best player. Bowen against Sunderland. You know, Bowen averages 4.2 points. He's, you know, kind of been getting around that recently with his Defcon. But he's due a goal, and, you know, he's meant to get goals in green fixtures. So one of these games, Bowen will score. So even though I'd love to move off 3 up front, or even 2 up front, he's staying for now because I accidentally brought him in a couple of weeks ago. Then you've got Liverpool guys, Wirtz and Ekitike. There's some rumours on Twitter that Ekitike might not start because Gakpo, Salah, and who else do they have up front? I don't really believe it. Someone was saying it on Twitter. I think it was Zophar. He thinks Ekitike might be benched, you know, coming back from injury. Personally, I don't see it. I think he's still their best player. He scored an own goal, not an own goal, an offside goal last night, so it's fine. Anderson, I'm sick and tired of. 3.7 points per game. He's just awful. I just regret getting him. And then Vandenberg doesn't even play anymore. And I've got 1 transfer left with 1.2. So what I should do is what you've just done and bring in Chalobah. which would then leave me exact money to go Wilson to Caicedo next week if I want to get rid of Wilson, 5.7. Or I can get rid of Wirtz next week because he will have terrible fixture run with Newcastle, Man City, Sunderland, Forest before it gets better. And then I can do Wirtz to Enzo, 8.4, which leaves me a lot of money in the bank, maybe to upgrade Weaver the next week. But I can't really get to Bruno Fernandes the week after, so I'd probably go Anderson to Munoz, and then that leaves me 5 at the back, and then I can bench these fraud strikers. So Chalobah, Enzo, Munoz is kind of what I want to do the next 3 weeks. I could do Wirtz this week as well, but you'd give Wirtz Bournemouth, surely. You know, Vandenberg won't play. If I do bring in Chalobah, who do I bench? Well, it has to be Bowen or Wilson, really. I don't really want to bench Wilson at home to Brighton, who concede goals to fun. You could hope Haaland and Ekatike are not in the squad, but they're going to get some minutes. Well, Anderson's a safe cover, so it's just Bowen bench, but he's playing Sunderland, so why would I move early? The only reason to move early is if I would want Caicedo with Wilson, or if I'd want to play Chalobah or not Enzo, or if I do Wilson to Caicedo. But Wilson I'm very happy with because he has, you know, not the worst fixtures. You can play Everton at home, Sunderland away, Tottenham, West Ham, but mainly for 31 against Burnley at home. You know, 31's the blank game week when you will need non-blankers to play. And he's got Burnley, so I love Fulham for 31. I'd hopefully get Raul Jimenez in if I need to downgrade before 31, and then wildcard 32. So I don't really want to get rid of Wilson, so I'll probably just get rid of Wirtz, which means I can go to Enzo, which I don't want to do this week. So it's just about Chalobah instead of Bowen. What do you think? I think I'm just going to roll.
Yeah. That's what I reckon. It doesn't scream of a need to make a transfer at the minute.
No. And then like all the reasons that Reidy said, you know, you'll get the 2 games from Chelsea to say, well, I want Chalobah, or I want Enzo, or I want Palmer, or I want you know, Reece James might be hitting form, or Cucurella might be playing striker, you know. But ideally, Chalobah and Enzo are the safest bets. I'd love to go Caicedo, but I don't really want to sell Wilson. But if I want to keep Bryson Semenyo and not go for Bruno Fernandes, or if I'm not bothered about getting Munoz, then I could go Wilson to Caicedo in 25, 26. But then you've only got 2 or 3 good games for Chelsea before their fixtures. They literally go to the bottom of the table after these 4 games, and I've already missed out. So because I moved Semenyo and Foden last week, I've missed out. If I had 2 free transfers, I'd probably still roll because I wouldn't sell Foden. It's so hard to sell Foden. It's only because of that fake leak last week. So yeah, that's my thing. But I feel like I'm definitely captaining Semenyo. I just think Haaland's losing it.
Yeah, I'm losing it. Well, brilliant as usual, and I look forward to your selfies on Twitter come Saturday. How does that sound? Brilliant, because guess what we've got time for? We're both going different directions on this. It's time for Captain's Corner. Now, before I start, I want to say thank you to the people who have commented on our broadcast tonight, but also, if you guys haven't viewed our compilation from last year, which is 20 minutes of good stuff and all of us laughing our heads off, it is now up on our YouTube page. So please go and give it a view. If you are, just grab yourself a brew while you're at it. But more importantly, welcome to Captain's Corner. Haaland, again, at home to Wolves. Although he's only scored 1 goal in his last 5 game weeks, he has a phenomenal record against Saturday's opponents. 10 goals and 1 assist in his 6 appearances, which I'm convinced that's the best track record he's got across any sort of opponents. And that includes having scored 2 hat-tricks in such home matches. With that, he's averaged 8.1 points per home match. Semenyo, he got rested midweek because he's ineligible to play Champions League matches. And what's an intriguing stat about him too is since late October, he's only blanked once in his home matches in which his side has been able to score in. And that came at home to West Ham when he was a Bournemouth player in November, having ended a 2-2 draw. And the 2 goals scored from the hammer was former Cherry Callum Wilson. Igor Thiago, 4 of his 5 double-digit hauls have come from home this season, including 2 more recent ones. It being 17 and 12 points. 17 was actually away, to be fair. Cole Palmer away at Crystal Palace. He's managed returns in both road trips to South London. Palace now don't have Gahey, and the Eagles have only managed 1 clean sheet since their 1-0 away win at Turf Moor in early December. Gabriel at home to Manchester United. He managed to secure his 10th clean sheet for the season last weekend away at Nottingham Forest. And alongside his 3 goals and 2 assists having registered this season, he has averaged 7.9 points per start, albeit he's been injured for a good while. So take your pick. We've got the Norwegian, who's been letting us down. We've got always believing Semenyo. Oh, bring Marcello back to before. I'll stop saying. Or you can go really alternative. Except Marcello does not like Cole Palmer at the minutes. You might want to steer away from there.
Yeah, come on. He's not with it. But yeah, Thiago, maybe I should be scared of him this week. Home at Forest. Yeah, Thiago is actually a decent shout. Would you go Thiago over Haaland? If Haaland is benched, there's a leak Haaland's bench. What are you doing?
Semenyo or Thiago.
Which one?
Always believing. Yeah.
Would you only do that if there's a leak?
Yeah.
Okay. I think, well, it's a 3 p.m., isn't it?
Yeah, 3 p.m.
And it's a home game. We're not going to get a leak, are we?
We're possibly not. But in terms of what we can, in real life, give people in store from this podcast, that's yet another conclusion to it. Marcello, thank you as always. You have been instrumental.
Well, thank you guys as well. Really good discussions. Enjoyed it. And yeah, just really enjoying it.
Yeah, and if you guys somehow, in your ludicrous minds, have not followed Marcello yet, make sure to do so on X, because he's so happy to give a lot of his time answering your questions and just giving to the community. That's what you're about. Any final words before we bow out for yet another edition, Marcello, or anything that you believe in?
Yeah, looking forward to the Caicedo hauls coming up. That's it, really.
Brilliant. No, that's fantastic. To end on a high note. Until next time, which is probably next week, because there's a Gameweek 24 before we even know it. Have a great week, everyone. May your arrows be green, except Jack, who's in the middle of the road eating shit.